What's going on? So in this video, I'm going to do a quick trade recap. I made $430 by beating FOMO, right? So every morning, if you want to see me trade live with Tanner, you can hit the subscribe button on my channel, hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time we jump on. So this morning we were trading, right? And Tanner sniped the fuck out of the bottom and rode the wave all the way up to the upside, and he's adding to his position and making more money, and I'm sitting on the sidelines because like my setup hasn't formed yet. My entry model didn't form yet, so I'm just sitting there watching, and I'm just catching FOMO, bro. Like, and we're trading in front of 200 people, over 200 people, and he's just like making money like hand over fist. And I'm like, okay, I got to be a disciplined trader. Let me wait for my setup. My time will come. But during that time, like, I was just there, like, battling the fuck out of FOMO. I just wanted to jump in, but I didn't do it. I even told the chat, I was like, you know what, Tanner, bro, I'm feeling FOMO, bro. I want to jump in. I want to make some money, but I'm going to chill. And the good thing is we all support each other in the chat, and Tanner helps me out, and we help each other out. But yeah, just by avoiding FOMO, I definitely would have lost a lot of money if I would have fed into that. But I ended up making $430, and everybody was just like very supportive and very hype about how patient I was and how transparent I was, ready to jump in the trade and make some money along with everybody else. So let's get into the charts. I'm gonna show you my setup and show you how this played out. So if we look here, I marked my opening range break on a 2-minute chart, right? And I had this low quality entry model that did show, but it wasn't worth taking a loss over. And that's one thing that I always try to emphasize is don't take a trade that it's not worth losing over. And this definitely wasn't it. I didn't necessarily like it. I know it was 50-50. It could have went, which it did, as you can see, but at the same time, it could not have went, right? Like it could have just came crashing down because it wasn't that strong of an entry model. So I went ahead and waited. Around this time, Tanner was already making like a bunch of money at the time. And a lot of people in the chat were saying that they were long and stuff, but I just couldn't do it. I wasn't willing to take a loss being influenced by everybody else. So we continue to break out the opening range, and then we had a high quality entry model. We got 2 legs down, as you can see. So I wasn't convinced just yet. So I waited for the retest on my entry model. As you can see, we got the retest right here. Boom. We retested the neckline right there, which I normally would enter. So we retested the area of what should have been my entry. So I'm gonna leave this right here. And I'm waiting for a reaction at this point, which we got right there. Boom. So we broke that neckline. I entered in for longs. I set my stop loss at the bottom of this impulse candle, but it was likely that we weren't going to make it to the 2R that I normally do because this should have been my initial entry right here. So say, for example, this was my initial entry. I would put my stop loss below this impulse candle. I always go for a 2R, and boom. That would have been my profit target. But I entered pretty late, and I had to take account for that. You can't just go for the profit target you would normally go for if you're not trading the way you normally do, or you didn't get the entry you normally do, right? So I knew I had to scale out aggressively because there was a high chance that we wasn't going to make it to that 2R because it was a late entry. I normally don't go off the retest. So boom, as you can see, we never made it to the 2R profit target, my granddaddy profit target. So I scaled 4 out of 5 contracts. Once we hit London highs, I let 1 contract go to see if we can possibly get that 2R. We never did. Every time I scale out, I move my stop loss to around at least the impulse candle, which is this candle right here, or London highs. So I did just that, and then I got stopped out for the rest of my position, netted me $490. So the key thing that I learned here is don't allow any type of influence or FOMO to make you make a bad decision that's not worth losing over. Whenever you see your entry model or you see a possible entry, ask yourself, is this worth losing over? Like, am I willing to lose money over this? And if the answer is yes, then go ahead and take the trade. But I am very happy that I sat with that FOMO. Emotions aren't something that you get rid of. It's something that you have to sit with and cater to and understand what it is, acknowledge it, and still do what you're supposed to do anyway. They can stay as long as they want to, but as long as you do the right thing, it's all good. And the last thing is make sure that you adjust your criteria if you're not trading the same. This trade I got in a little bit late, but I knew that I had to compensate for getting late. So I began to scale and trail a little bit more aggressively than I usually do. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.